Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? I'm hot as a motherfucker out here, bro. I'm a hot-blooded ass nigga, man. Like I get hot easily. You know, if it's room temperature, if it's room temperature, you did. Let's say you got the temperature set to 68 degrees or 67 degrees, and the room temperature is 67 degrees. I'm hot. Yeah, I need y'all to take that temperature down just a little bit, bro. I don't know what it is about my biological makeup, but I'm just a warm-blooded nigga, man, and I get hot easily. I was leaking all day at work, all fucking day, and because I work in a senior living facility, a lot of the residents don't like cooler climate. There's a lot of them walking around in sweaters and hoodies, and in sweats. And they'll be outside in that hoodie and in sweats and sweaters, and I'm like, I be hot as hell. You got to go in their room, clean their rooms, and you in there leaking. I'm like, yo, this is wow. So, brother, warm right now, man. Warm as a motherfucker. But peep game, man. I want to get into some shit, man. And everybody's giving their thoughts on this this Hall of Fame list. The short shots and the potentials and everything, and it was, it's a lot of different avenues that people had, issues that people took with it. But my biggest thing, the biggest thing that I saw that I just thought was this, the biggest slap in the face was Bivol is a short shot Hall of Famer, but beterbiev is, I don't know what the second tier was, like probable or something like that, and I just thought that was the most ridiculous and dumb. Like, we just gotta call it what it is, man. Just people who make these lists, it's not a lot of thought that goes into it. Or if it is, I won't say it ain't a lot of thought, but you have to question what made you come to the conclusion that you came to put that shit out there. Because how the fuck is Bivol a short shot Hall of Famer and beterbiev is improbable when beterbiev beat him first and he's beaten more champions? It makes no fucking sense, dog. I mean, because, just Bivol didn't even pop up on a lot of people's radar until Canelo fought him, and a lot of people thought that was a cherry pick go wrong. I've personally talked to people who thought that was a cherry pick gone wrong, and after he beat Canelo, now all of a sudden they die-hard Bivol fans. And I've watched these same niggas tear down now leading up to the fight up with Canelo. They was tearing down, Bivol because there's no pizzazz to his game. He's not launching hooks and uppercuts and sitting down on the hooks and the uppercuts, man. His best shots are his straight shots, his 1-2. And if he does throw a hook, it's going to be a hook thrown from a distance to where the trajectory, he's not bending his elbow to hook the shot. It's a long hook. It's a long hook that he's hitting you with. Because he's at a range that's conducive to him. He can get counters off, but he's out of position. He can get his shots off, but he's out of position for you to counter him. That's Bivol's game. And people were laughing at that. Art man, I gotta be real, that's the homie. But that nigga, man, just look at this. This dude is about to beat Canelo. Now this nigga a die-hard Bivol fan. I'm like, yo, this shit is wild. But a lot of the admiration is coming from Bivol because he beat Canelo in embarrassing fashion. Now, mind you, I was a nigga who made a video saying I don't think Canelo was about to beat this dude. Bivol is about to win. He is about to beat Canelo, dog. He's going to beat Canelo. I said that. So y'all niggas can't say shit to me. Y'all can't say a motherfucking thing to me. But this love affair and this admiration that's coming for for Bivol is by way of what's the word? As a way to shame Canelo for losing to him. Whatever the fuck ever with it, just whatever. But be consistent, and a lot of people even feel I think in the American, I don't know who made this list, but in the Americas, we have an affinity to favor the outboxer, the slickster. And people think that he beat Artur Beterbiev in the first fight because he used his lateral movement. And they completely disregarded the amount of pressure, the educated pressure that Artur Beterbiev was putting on Bivol. They ignored all that shit. They completely ignored the fact that Bivol gassed down the stretch. They ignored all of that shit. So I'm just saying, man, it's stupid. Like, why can't motherfuckers just call shit down the middle? There's no way you tell me Artur Beterbiev is a probable for the Hall of Fame, but Bivol is a sure shot when Beterbiev has beaten more champions. He took a belt off Joe Smith Jr. He took a belt off fucking Volsdik. And took a belt off of fucking Bivol. Did he take a belt off of Marcus Brown? Was Marcus Brown the champion when he fought him? I'm not so sure if Marcus Brown was a champion. I don't know if Marcus, but I'm trying to think of the third. I think it was Marcus Brown that he took a belt off of. I think it was Marcus Brown, Joe Smith Jr., and Volsdik. I think those are the 3 champions that he took a belt off of. And then took a belt off of Bivol. He beat 4 champions to capture 4 belts. But he's not a sure shot for the Hall of Fame. But Bivol is, because he beat Canelo for no belts. There was no belts on the line when his belt was on the line, but it was a title defense. It was a title defense with Canelo. He didn't fight Canelo for all of his belts for undisputed at 168 pounds. He fought to defend his title at 175 pounds. How the fuck is Bivol a sure shot, but Artur Beterbiev isn't? I've been trying to wrap my mind around that shit since I saw it. I'm just like, yo, man, y'all niggas is really some simpletons, man, because there's no justification that you can give me as to why he's a sure shot, but the other one is probable. Now, we can look at Bivol's resume. Yeah, Joe Smith Jr. ended up becoming a champion. Yeah, Zurdo Ramirez is currently a unified champion in his 2nd division. His wins aged gracefully. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Canelo went undisputed again. His wins have aged gracefully. Bivol has an impeccable resume. I don't think anybody can deny that. But Beterbiev took belts off of 4 different champions. And he doesn't get put into, he's not a sure shot for the Hall of Fame? Like, what are y'all talking about? What the fuck are we doing, man? People are just so, just knee-jerk reaction and live in the moment. And they just can't woosah, sit back, breathe, and take the situation into its entirety and come to a logical conclusion. And the logical conclusion is simply, there's no way you can tell me that Bivol is a sure shot Hall of Famer, but Beterbiev is probable. What is probable about Artur Beterbiev being inducted into the Hall of Fame? Why is he not a sure shot into the Hall of Fame? I really want answers. I really would want somebody to tell me that. Like, how do you justify a dude being probable who beat 4 champions to take 4 belts and go undisputed, but the dude that he beat in the last dude that he needed to complete the puzzle undisputed, he beat first. But somehow, after he takes his belt and other belts back from Artur Beterbiev, this dude he's a sure shot Hall of Famer. He's sure shot Hall of Famer. It's no logical explanation for that shit, my nigga. Artur Beterbiev is a sure shot Hall of Famer. That is an all-time great light heavyweight. A-tier light heavyweight. And so is Bivol. This ain't no shade at Bivol. I'm not throwing salt at Bivol at all. These are 2 all-time great light heavyweights. They can compete in any era, the both of them, because they're both that great. But there's no way you can convince me that Bivol is a short shot Hall of Famer and Beterbiev is a probable Hall of Famer. And if you're gonna use Artur Bivol's win over Beterbiev, look at how if I'm not mistaken, I gotta go back and look at the scorecards again. But let me see. I think one of them had it a draw. I think one of the judges had it a draw, and I don't know. I can't remember what the other two judges had it. But I think one of them was a pretty wide margin, man. I think one of them was pretty wide. But nonetheless, you just can't you can't convince me that that's logical. That Bivol is a short shot Hall of Famer, but Beterbiev is a probable Hall of Famer. When he's beat more champions, it just doesn't make much sense. Let's take the let's take the champions that Bivol beat that would have the fighters that Bivol beat that would later on become champions, like a Joe Smith Jr. Well, Canelo was already a champion when Bivol fought him and beat him. Joe Smith Jr. and Zurdo Ramirez. Those are two champions, dog. And people forget that Bivol was elevated. And there's nothing wrong with Bivol. I don't take issue with emailed belts. I don't take issue with that. It's what you do once you get that belt. And if you do great work, I don't give a fuck about you being an email champion. That doesn't bother me. But if you don't do what you need to do as a champion, that is something that's going to be used against you. You an email champion and you ain't doing what's necessary to be done while you a champion. You're not fighting the quality opposition necessary for you to justify you being a champion. Yes, that's when an email champion will work against you. Yes, definitely. So I'm saying, my nigga, like, at the end of the day, you can't. Bivol hasn't beat more champions than Beterbiev has. He hasn't. At light heavyweight, he hasn't. He hasn't. He beat one champion as a light heavyweight. Took his belts from him. That being Beterbiev. Took all his belts from him. And he gets kudos for doing that. But Beterbiev went through more of the gauntlet because he deboed 4 belts off of niggas. So don't give me that bullshit about how. Don't sit here and play in my face telling me that Bivol is a short shot Hall of Famer, but Artur Beterbiev isn't. Because I just think that shit is utter garbage. You dig? Just asinine and just skullduggerous. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. And a lot of you niggas, as I stated earlier, a lot of you niggas who are saying the shit that y'all are saying it because it feels good that Bivol was able to go in there and dismantle Canelo in the fashion that he did it in. Y'all got a kick out of watching Bivol do that to Canelo because y'all are, Canelo detractors. Whatever the fuck ever. I didn't get a kick out of it because I fuck with Canelo, but I fuck with Bivol as well. I fuck with Bivol. Because I respect his get down as a fighter. I'm a consummate professional. The bag doesn't dictate how I move. So I ain't about to sit here and let Canelo dictate my careers from a whole division beneath me. No, my nigga, no. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. You dig? Okay? So I want to come down 160. I want to come down 168 pounds and fight you. If that's the only way we'll get a rematch. You want to do that? All right, cool. I'm chucking deuces. Then I'm on to the next. Zurdo was happening. I take no issue with how Bivol. I love the fact that he did that shit. I love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So him beating Canelo doesn't bother me because I predicted it anyway. And I don't use it as a means to kick Canelo because shit, the dude jumped up. At some point, you're gonna reach a ceiling. You're gonna reach a ceiling. But let's be clear, Canelo already went up there and knocked out a nigga and got a belt off of him. So how hard can you laugh at the dude? The dude is too accomplished. You lost to Bivol, so name me 5 undefeated fighters that retired. And if you can name me 5, that means that's the only 5 that retired with they O intact. I mean, You dig? This shit is goofy, man. It's goofy a lot. I don't know who made the list, but if the nigga, whoever made that, I don't know who made the list, so I'm not even gonna make that assertion, man. My thing is this though: a lot of you dudes are, just praising Bivol because he went in there and he embarrassed Canelo. And what y'all doing that shit, y'all ignore other variables, bro. Like beterbiev beating Bivol in the first fight. A lot of y'all won't count that though, because y'all feel like Bivol got robbed because Bivol was fighting off of the back foot, and y'all have this affinity to Floyd Mayweather being the slickster that he was. So if you punch on the go, you automatically are better than the fighter who fights off of the front foot. It's corny. It's corny. It's goofy. I be looking at you niggas like, man, y'all some different type of niggas, man. God damn. All in all, Bivol does not get on the pound for pound list, and beterbiev doesn't when they've beaten each other. And beterbiev has beaten more champions in his division. As great of a feat as Dimitri Bivol did with fighting the opponent, the level of opposition that he fought, I think it was those were, incredible wins for him. Zordo could fuck around and run. Zordo can fuck around and run the trap. Zordo can fuck around and run the trap up there at cruiserweight, because he's in that fight with Jai. He is in that fight with Jai Opataya. He's in that fight. He can beat Jai. I just wouldn't pick him to beat Jai. But I'm saying that those wins aged gracefully. But it's not the same as beating 4 champions in the division that you campaign in and snatching belts off of them. That's all I got to say, man. I'm outie. Deuces.